What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by John and Dennise Marshall of the Brickhouse. John and Dennise Marshall, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, what do you guys do?
Well, we own and operate breakfast, lunch, brunch in the heart of Ridley Park, right in the downtown.
Formerly the Langeth building. Everybody pretty much knows that gift shop is now the Brickhouse.
Now, what can people expect when they come to the Brickhouse?
I think they can expect warm, welcoming atmosphere and people. Our servers are amazing. Our baristas are amazing. We have pretty good coffee and food. On the weekends, we do have live musicians, and then often we host pop-up shops to support other small businesses on the weekends.
How did all this get started for you?
I think it was my brainchild. I opened a cafe in University City, 48th in Baltimore. It was called the Gold Standard. It's kind of like this model here. We had a lot of outdoor seating and breakfast, lunch, but we also did dinner there and a lot of catering. And I kind of, when it got sold, was looking for something to bring home to where we live here in Ridley Park in Delaware County. We didn't have anything like that right in this area that served farm fresh, I guess farm to table kind of food, and that was what we wanted to do, and wanted to do it in our community. We live right around the corner. We could walk here, and that was where it started. We just looked in the window, it said for rent. I sat there, called Dee. So what do you think? I'm going to call Joanne Langeth and rent the building. And we did. And here we are now owning the building.
So what's it like for you working together in this business day to day? And how do you separate some of the things that you take responsibility for?
That's a lot of give and take.
We've always off and on worked together. We ran an inn in New Hampshire. I was a dining room manager and catering director when John was a chef. So we've kind of always had the opportunity to work together, and I think we're each other's best friend, and it's hard sometimes. You still want to pour over stuff at home that you should just kind of stop talking about and pick up the next day. But I think we have really good delineated roles where John is the menu and has come up with all of the amazing things that we serve here and has trained a great staff to be able to create that as well. I dabble in the kitchen a little bit myself.
A lot.
John's pretty much taught me everything I know about cooking and how to bring these creations to life. And I'm a little bit more in the front of the house now, and I take care of, some of the things like payroll, writing checks to our vendors and things like that. So we kind of balance each other that way.
Yeah, it's a great balance. And we have a 24-hour rule. Our daughter plays softball, and we got that 24-hour rule. Don't discuss the game, go to bed, and for 24 hours. Don't bother the coach. So now we kind of do that too. If we have a little misunderstanding,
communication about something.
Yeah, we'll just give it 24 hours.
How did you discover that? That's a great idea to look. This is now a relationship and helping couples segment of the podcast. But how did you formulate that for yourselves? Where did that come from?
The 24-hour rule? Yeah, it basically just from the girls' softball team and seeing how level-headed everybody reacted the next day, as opposed to bringing the emotion into it. So you clear-minded the next day. You talk about it in a way that doesn't get anybody upset, and we resolve it and move on, and it just kind of works for us.
Yeah, I think it makes it much easier that both of us are in this and we both want to do this.
Yes,
it'd be a little harder if one wanted to do it and the other one not so much. And both of our kids work here too.
Now, we are 2 years or so through the process of COVID. And what are some of the challenges you faced? And how has your business reacted, and some of the things you've learned from COVID?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We've been open more under COVID circumstances than like a normal operating restaurant. And I give a lot of credit to the team that we have to be able to flex to the different circumstances, whether it was like going from full service to takeout only to no indoor to just curbside pickup, then outdoor dining. And we just had to really flex to make sure that we were able to survive through it. And I give much credit to our staff for being able to do that. Everybody really wanted to make it work.
I think the thing that they're so young that having them stay home and take care of themselves and not get sick, and we really, knock on wood, have not had to close at all for COVID.
We thought we were going to be closed 2 weeks when we decided on that March 15th.
Other than the shutdown there for a while, for a month and a half, 2 months.
It was a couple of months. And,
but the staff took care of themselves, and ever since we've been reopened, we've kind of slid right through. Everybody's been healthy and happy.
When we had outdoor, it was lugging these big, heavy wood tables in and out every day.
Every single day.
I mean, the things that they did to make sure that we could stay open. We opened in November 16th, 2018, and then we were open, pretty much just a little over a year before all the craziness happened. But
we just made closing a month earlier on the building and had to shut down.
That must have been quite a conversation.
We were like,
Rent's due. You've got all the mortgages due. All those bills are due, and you're now all right. It's a different scenario, right?
Yes, we're all takeout at this time. Well, first we were closed, and then when we came back, we were just takeout.
Yeah, it was daunting because we just literally, like you said, had our first mortgage payment due in the next month or so, and we're closed. So it was definitely challenging. But somehow we got through it. We just did what we needed to do personally as far as helping the business with finances to be able to kind of survive through.
Yeah.
So,
a little borrowing from our own personal savings and 401ks and
I was going to ask how that,
to keep that flowing.
I mean, it's like you just did it, right?
We just did
That's what people do. They just do it because you believed in the vision and the dream of this, right?
We did, and we really care about the people that work for us, and we wanted to make sure they were okay too. So, whether it was helping them out with some cash or do you need some food or whatever it is to make sure that they got through that time as well, to be able to come back. And we had every single person that was on our team at that time came back, which says a lot about them and the mission that we've created here. Since then, we have about double our staff now, which is great.
Yes.
Because we've been able to hire more people and create more jobs, which is awesome.
Talk about that mission. What is that mission? Is it printed somewhere? Do you communicate it? Or is it just something that you have internally for both of you that you try to emulate and communicate?
I think a little of both. I think on our, we do have an Instagram and a Facebook. And if you take a look at our Instagram, it really talks about our, fresh, local, handcrafted food and artisan coffee. We really believe in supporting local. We use a lot of farms and our vendors from local areas, like Green Meadow Farm in Lancaster provides all of our fresh eggs, our grass-fed beef, all of the meats we use. Our Golden Valley Coffee Roasters, which is out of Westchester, that is a family business through a couple of generations.
Which are the owners were originally from Ridley, so
it brings everything together.
They
exactly.
Really know the area, know us, and it's really great coffee. And that was like the thing when we started was egg sandwiches and cups of coffee and espresso. Was no other espresso machine until the bakery down the street, Adore Bakery, opened up. Now they have espresso too, but we were the only ones serving that kind of coffee here. We didn't ever want to be like Starbucks model. We want to create our own food and make that food. So it built and built and built to where we are right now, and then maybe we'll get a bigger kitchen soon and
world domination
or Delco domination. We'll start there first.
I'm really proud of the fact we've created like a community gathering space for our neighbors and friends. And it has been wonderful to see over the time we have been open that we have been blessed with such great customers, repeat customers, and we've become friends with our customers. We text them, communicate with them, and they've become friends with each other.
Yes,
and that makes us feel really good.
We have the housewives of the Brick House. They take over the big table behind me here.
Coming soon to a cable station near you, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're writing some things here.
The Brick
We're
House.
definitely getting a script together.
How did you come up with the name The Brickhouse?
That was John.
That was me. All bricks. We uncovered all the bricks. I wanted to keep it that not really industrial, but that bring back all the windows that were here, the architectural that was in the building to begin with, that was covered up with drywall and other things. And when we opened it up, it just said Brick House. But as I was looking around, there's other brick houses, all spelled House. And then I came up with the German spelling and put it together, and gosh, it worked. It's very...
And the strong standing part, I think, brick house, like that we're strong.
For both of you, day to day, sometimes it's, to use a coffee pun, a grind. What motivates you? What gets you out of bed? Do you motivate each other? Is there an internal motivation? What is that for you?
I think we love what we do. Like, the bottom line is we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't really love it.
Right.
Do we motivate each other? Absolutely.
Yeah,
do we want to sleep in sometimes? Yes. But for me, I feel like we're hosting a party every day, quite honestly. And prior to opening the Brick House, we used to entertain at home all the time. Eagles games, like whole family would come over. We would cook, put on spreads because we just love to cook. John's been a chef for 30 years. And, I've been in the food business a long time too. And it's just in our blood, in our nature to be able to do that. And so time after time, our family, our friends, why don't you do, you always wanted to do something. And I think that was always in the back of our head, always a dream for us to be able to do this. So at least that's what, for me, I feel like we're hosting a party every day.
I always saw us owning a bed and breakfast because we love that kind of thing. People staying over and getting up in the morning and making them breakfast. We did run it in New Hampshire, in Tamworth, New Hampshire. Really loved it. Loved the area. But once we had our twins and our families in Delco, we're coming back.
Exactly.
This is where we wanted to be. All four of our kids graduated from Ridley. Mm-hmm. I did graduate from Ridley, from Massachusetts, but we won't hold that against her.
You mentioned dinner. So talk about some of your ideas that you are looking to do with dinner, and when can Delco and this area expect to see dinner from here?
Oh, Rich, contractors, and as soon as the town approves our plans, we're ready to move forward with expanding the kitchen. That could take anywhere from maybe 2 to 3 months, and then hiring a little bit more staff, and we're going to put a menu together. Do you
have some ideas as to what you'd like to see in the menu? And just 30 years experience in the kitchen and all that, Denise, for you, what kind of ideas do you have that you'd like to see hit the menu and have your customers enjoy?
We're going to do seafood. We're going to do meat. We're going to also have some vegan options and vegetarian options, but we're not well schooled in a lot of those things. So we'll bring someone in that is, and we'll have those things on the menu too. But I think that our model that we have here for lunch also and breakfast, with the freshness and the farm to table, changing the menu every 3 months to different recipes. Maybe if somebody, one particular dish, say it's crab cakes or so, they'll stay and remain. They can't leave the menu. They'll be forced to stay there. But other things
we're taking advantage
change.
of the season is changing and using the freshest, most local produce we can. And I think a lot of the things that John creates, he makes excellent sauces and gravies and soups and all of that. We try to put our unique spin on what might be a little bit more traditional. So I think that's... Yeah,
we're not going to put ourselves into this is a French restaurant, Italian restaurant, and we're going to have all over the world is going to be on our menu.
Well, I think with that and an understanding mission statement, the idea is that you're farm to table, you're serving fresh, you're rotating things seasonally. what you do after that, you can start to play off those ingredients that you start to bring in and just create your own personality with the menu and the food, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened here with not as much the breakfast menu. You know, it's our quiche, it's our style of quiche, and people really love it. So now we're making 2 to 3 quiche a day, and people order whole quiches. So like we're going to put it on the menu, but we just put it on the specials menu and say, you know, quiche of the day.
A lot of the things that ended up on our menu were things we tried as specials, like our breakfast BLT, our huevos rancheros, our chili skillet. Like those were all ideas like, oh, let's try this and see how our customers love it. And then when you take it off the specials and they keep asking for it,
you had me a chili skillet. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys just my mouth is watering, so I'm gonna need do you guys offer a bib or something? A man bib? I don't know. You're business owners. How has the current economy, how has inflation impacted the day-to-day operations and how you plan?
Well, we have to go with it. You have to roll with it. I mean, there's no, it is what it is kind of thing. I know it's cliche to say, but getting ingredients and finding exactly a substitute for what is not available has been one of the hardest things to do. And keeping up with the prices, we kind of have a philosophy, we'll split it with our customer and us. So we'll only raise it 20% as it's been raised 25, 30, 40%. And, you know, so we kind of like don't go and throw that whole increase right away because we feel that it's unfair that we pass all that expense onto the customer. We have to absorb some of it. So it's been a challenge that way, but I think we're doing pretty well.
Definitely a challenge as far as like ordering products
and making sure supply chain, making sure you have those standard products on your menu that people have come to enjoy.
And every week there's been something that's, we can't get this, we can't get that. So that's very frustrating as a business owner. It's also frustrating when you see the prices fluctuating so greatly. And, you know, we really haven't had a whole lot of menu increases. I can count on one hand, like in all these years, not very many. And we try to keep it based on what we're serving. Is our food a little bit pricier than if you got things out of a box? Absolutely. But it's all handcrafted. So, and it's fresh. And I think that's what our customers really love.
If you're to explain Delco to somebody that doesn't know Delco, how would you explain it?
It's a cult. No, truly. When I think about why I love Delco, it's the people.
Yeah, why do you... No, it's all about this, like, right? I mean,
they're the most loyal, fierce people who come together when the community needs each other. That's what I've seen here.
Well, I see someone holding the door for me at Wawa, and then we both go to back out, and we're both beeping our horns at each other, yelling at each other. And then we just move on.
I saw a bumper sticker that said, I survived the Wawa parking lot. Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But it's the funniest thing. It's that mentality that here, in one sense, we are friends, neighbors, compatriots, if that's a word. I think it is. That we hold the door for each other. But once we get into the shell of our car, it's every person for themselves. Right. Right. But the idea... Good.
I'm sorry. People are so proud of being from Delco. And you don't find that many places at all.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, we've lived in a couple different areas, and I've lived in Lancaster, I've lived in Massachusetts, out in Pittsburgh area, and Connecticut, and it's just the sense of community here, and when it's time to rally around each other and help each other. I mean, look what we're doing here. You guys doing this for Delco, you know, and what you did through the COVID and the pandemic and such is that makes us us. We're a family here, and why not just own it?
How do people find the Brick House?
We can be found we have a Facebook page, Instagram, and then our website is cafebrickhouse.com. And we're right in the heart of Ridley Park.
And your address, just in case somebody wants to come here and eat?
13 East Hinckley Avenue in Ridley Park.
Is there anything we haven't talked about today on the podcast that you would want somebody to know about the Brick House, and for you, John, and you, Denise, things that you want them to know?
When you come here, just be relaxed, be patient. We're going to crack every egg for you. We're going to make every omelet fresh and every sandwich fresh. And you're family. Once you're here, you're part of our family.
Exactly.
And look for that live entertainment. Look for dinner at some point. Look for the pop-ups that you do and the local other businesses that you support, right?
What is coming in May?
Absolutely. Well, this weekend, actually, we have a local author who wrote a children's book called Healthy Me. And we just thought that fits so well with the Brick House. So she's going to be doing that this weekend. We've also partnered with the Ridley Park Library to do a fundraiser for them, a book sale. That's happening this weekend as well. And then we have something pretty big coming up in May with one of our most cherished partners.
Stay tuned.
Creations, yes.
Stay tuned. This has been awesome. You guys are such wonderful, lovely people. I mean, this is what you're Delco, and you emphasize that. And this has been great. I'm just blessed to know you and have the opportunity to sit down with you.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping
Great to
by
meet you
and
too.
hanging out for a few minutes.
And now I got to get 2 slices of quiche. Thanks, guys.